Welcome back to Dead Letter. Still the same op. The op that would never end. You
This is the op
until you
that
drop.
never ends.
There's going to be
It
songs
goes
about
on
this,
and
alright?
on.
But
Some
only
people-
Delta Green agents will sing it because it's classified for everyone else.
Some people started screaming it, not knowing what it was, and now they're just screaming forever, just because.
Yep, starting screaming forever seems like a thing they would do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this show is rated R because horrors beyond comprehension that the human mind cannot take in properly, violence that leaves people in pieces and minds shattered, strange experiments on unwilling participants, very much against Ethic Review's rules. In fact, Ethic Review's rules were designed exactly to stop scientists from doing things like that. Let's just say that I don't think that what happened at the ABC plant would pass an Ethics Review Board scrutiny.
Nope.
Probably not. With us this time, we have ourselves Z-Cell. Do please introduce yourselves. I noticed that Harper has not logged into Foundry yet.
Pardon me.
Nor has Coach.
Coach, how could you? How dare you not log in?
I know.
It will be quickly
How
read
dare
off.
you?
See, I was just trying to help you out. Share some of the blame.
Ah,
Yeah,
There you go.
and we are sharing it.
alright. Who is here and who is why and where is that?
Hi, I'm Briar and I'm playing Dr. Alex Blair.
Hello, I'm Coach, and I am playing Agent Hassel.
Agent Hassel. Of
Hi,
H-Cell.
I'm Harper. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Harper. I'm playing Sarah Gwynn, and I can't tell when people are done talking.
Nobody can.
Yeah, same me neither. Hi, I'm Cal. I go last, and I play Jack Morgan.
Indeed. Last time, the surviving members of Z-Cell, the 3 left now. Technically, Tristan has survived too. He is alive. He is also probably connected to a bunch of tubes and has a whole lot of psychiatric medicines of all sorts, probably anti-anxiety drugs and whatnot flowing through his body. Basically, very low on tranquilizers at this particular time. So, thus not functioning. So how about the functioning members of Z-Cell? And we are using a very wide definition of functioning here because everyone is either hurt, mentally exhausted, or traumatized, or all 3 of the above. Some combination. Gathered on the porch of their motel room and related the catastrophic events at the ABC plant when the session last time started. They decided that Blair would stay behind to watch over the sedated Tristan and the reanimated Thomas Ironshirt, while Morgan and Gwyn would meet with their handler Drake and the newly arrived H-Cell. The meeting took place on a dark hiking trail illuminated only by car headlights. Drake introduced them to agents Hank, Harriet, and Hassel of H-Cell, explaining that they were there to provide backup and help contain the situation. The group formulated a cover story labeling the attackers as eco-terrorists who had released a biological agent. Hank and agents skilled in bureaucracy took charge of managing the official paperwork to solidify this narrative with the FBI and the Air Force. Harriet, whose expertise lay in psychological evaluation, was tasked with taking the traumatized Tristan to a proper facility for rehabilitation. And then we never saw them again. Hassel was assigned as the liaison between H-Cell and Z-Cell on the ground. With the plan set, Harriet and Hassel accompanied Morgan and Gwyn back to the motel room to retrieve Tristan. Blair had been watching over Tristan, recognizing the severe physical and mental trauma he had endured. Upon the group's return, they carefully moved Tristan out. He was muttering about The Walking Dead, which, given the situation, was not to be surprising. Harriet took him into her custody and promised to get him the help he needed, and to return in the morning to evaluate the rest of Z-Cell. After H-Cell departed, Thomas Ironshirt emerged from the closet, startling the remaining agents and causing them to lose their grip on their sanity even further. It's just slipping and slipping, because living with a zombie does that. They tried to explain the gravity of his situation, that he looked like one of the undead and would be shot on sight, but Thomas remained in stubborn denial, eventually retreating grumpily back into the closet. And being all exhausted, you all crashed for the night. When you awoke, Thomas was gone. You soon received a call from Hassel, and the team convened for a briefing in a command tent at the now quarantined ABC plant. Hank, who had worked through the night, detailed their findings. The plant was a mass casualty event. An explosion had been deliberately set with military-grade explosives in what you guys know as Lab 6, and key data storage units were missing. The investigation was now officially an anti-eco-terrorist operation, but the team had no leads on the attacker's identity. Their discussion was interrupted by an email from Drake containing a CCTV image of a suspect from Billings International Airport, providing your first real lead. You recognize this person from the commando team that wrecked everything. The team, now joined by Hassel, boarded a helicopter and flew to Billings to continue your investigation, and we left off with you basically entering the hangar of one Highline Aeronautics LLC. This is a small-time outfit on the edge of Billings International. If you have all the big jets going in to the big terminals, this will be on the other side of the airport, where you have private charters for farmers who need helicopters to oversee their lands, who need maybe what is it called? Crop dusting. That's what I wanted to have. Crop dusting. And so on and so forth. All the types of aerial activities that local businesses might require, but certainly doesn't require big airplanes. We're talking Cessnas and other props, and maybe one or two private Learjets, because there are still rich people in this part of the world as well, and I'm sure they have their own charter jets and so on. So all those kinds of outfits are in this particular part of the airport. And there is a clerk here who is, you're getting here by noon, and he will sit up probably very straight as you're coming in. And what do we want to do with this young fella?
Can you tell us who rented out this space for this jet or helicopter?
Are we flashing badges and such?
Yes.
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 Looks at the badge. I want you all to roll a human check, please. Let's go. Human is your best skill, isn't it? For everyone.
Yeah, no.
Not for Blair. Not for Syra. Not for Hassel. And not for Morgan. Okay, this is just one of those things that go completely unnoticed by everyone. I think everybody has a check mark in human by now, right? It's been a long enough story.
Pretty sure I have check marks on half of my sheet.
Yes, you do. It's been a long enough story. Yeah, he'll provide you with binders. This is 1998. Everybody is not super computerized yet, though he does have a desktop computer sitting there. It's an old PC from 5 years ago, probably. Doesn't have Windows running on it yet. And yeah, here we go. Yeah, it says here client name Nuevas Fronteras. That's what I got here.
Anything more you can tell us about the dude who checked it in? Did you interact with anybody connected with Nuevas Fronteras?
I don't know anything. I hardly know a thing. Anybody here have persuasion? Gwen doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Serious?
I have persuasion. Hold on.
What kind of fumble are we getting for Hassel then? Maybe we have a strong beginning.
Probably a literal fumble, and he'll go to grab his badge as he approaches and just drops his badge, fully fumbles it, and probably also drops his gun.
Okay, so are you distracted and get a -20 on your next test then?
Yeah, that sounds
Oh
appropriate.
my god.
We have not even played for I don't know how many minutes in this scenario, and we have 2 critical failures in a row. Woohoo! How did you critically fail, Blair?
That wasn't me.
Oh, that was
was
Jackie.
me.
Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah, so how did you critically fail?
Open my mouth, and immediately I remember that I am on 5 HP, and I start wheezing.
Okay, do we want to lose physical strain or emotional burnout or exhaustion?
I think physical strain might work.
All right, are we going to take
Yeah.
that in hit points or in statistics? Hit points would be bad because it's D6.
I'm
We
not
might-
going to take it in hit points.
No, so we lose
Oh.
temporarily a D4 from strength, constitution, and dex. Let's go with constitution because the wheezing part. So roll a D4, please. You're like,
Okay.
So temporarily you will be down to...
Oh wait, damn! I rolled a 6.
Yeah,
I
you
rolled a
roll
D6.
D4.
Oh. All right, let me just. There you go.
1. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. 14 constitution
I'm a
for now.
monster. I've got insane constitution.
Yeah, you have decent constitution. Blair, everybody's wishing that you can pull off a persuade right now.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's going great.
I thought that
for
was a
this.
crit.
That
Oh,
was not a crit. That was a failure.
I thought it was going to be a crit failure because the die
Hey.
rolled and it looked like a 6-6.
That would have been interesting with so many crit fails, one after the other. On the other hand, you're just talking to a clerk right now. I'm just going to see this as this group is just so shaky and so wobbly. And even though you had a good night's sleep, you're still jumping at shadows because there might be a zombie coming out. And the fact that the clerk sitting there is flinching when he sees you, maybe he's a zombie. Maybe he's going to turn on all of you and eat you. It's going to take a long while. I'm going to just add time for you to talk to this guy because you're just that level of burned out. Let's see now. We had... Oh, Gwyn hasn't even tried to roll yet. Are you trying to get away
You
from
said
rolling?
You said I didn't have any persuade. I was like, oh,
You
I
have
guess
20. You have 20. Yeah, that is technically
Yeah, you
not
just
having any.
gotta. You just.
But you can
hired-
save the
you
you
can
hired
save
people
the
to do it.
group some time here if you succeed.
I thought
Or
you meant
you
I was
can roll
like,
a
time out.
fumble and okay,
Not, yeah,
wasn't a fumble.
yeah. I thought you'd taken my persuade away. I was like, I'm pretty sure
No,
I had some.
no, I
but
haven't.
Okay.
So instead of just taking 15 minutes to talk to this guy, it's going to take you literal hours. That's what a failure will get you. Because he's just clamming up completely. Don't you need like a warrant or something? Wait a minute, I'll talk to my supervisor. Maybe my supervisor knows something, and he's going to call the supervisor, and it's going to be like, no, my supervisor is away on vacation. Let me see my assistant supervisor. And after a long time of just painfully waiting for someone who wants to answer your questions, you will get an assistant supervisor arriving at the scene. Apparently they took the night shift or what have you, and they're gonna get there and give their clerk a real barking to, because clearly they haven't been cooperating properly and maybe they're going to get fired now. And eventually they will, I'm sure, yes. So this is an absolute, this assistant manager is a lady who has just cutting diamond as a personality. She's just, yeah, nope, you go away from here now. You've done enough of a mess. I'm so sorry, special agents. We will cooperate fully, of course. Let's see now. Let me have a word with my employee, and I'll tell you whatever we know. She's gonna. If you're gonna hear her shouting there. If you don't start opening up right now, you get fired. And then there's gonna be some mumbling inside the office, and so on and so forth. And finally, she comes out and says, "I'm terribly sorry. He thought that you were going to arrest him for something. Is this connected to that big thing at the ABC plant up in Browning?"
Yep.
Yes.
It's all over the news. We definitely have nothing to hide here at Highline Aeronautics. The client in question, Nuevas Fronteras, and she's gonna bring out like a ledger and bring things up on the screen. I don't know, Latin American outfit, I don't know, Mexican or something. And they've been up here a couple of times before, always through us. I think they're lawyers or something. Anyway, they do business, and it's not the first time they have flown out to the ABC plant. We know that much. We have our pilot. You have our pilot, don't you? Who has our pilot? I've been told that our pilot was arrested up there.
I think they might still have him up there.
Because I'm sure our pilot is not involved in any foul play, right? Anything, we're going to contact our lawyers, of course, but anything that might have happened untowards, Highline Aeronautics had nothing to do with. Absolutely nothing to do with. If anything, we are the victims here. My employee just told me how scared he got from those gentlemen who came from Nuevas Fronteras. They were carrying suspect luggage. He didn't know it at the time, but now that we've heard of eco-terrorism, maybe they had some things there. He talks about a cooler, like they had a cooler bag with them. And he said that they were like Europeans maybe. They spoke some European language. And they left Billings early this morning, 6 o'clock. I have a note here, rush turnaround, party of 6, private account. So, yeah, that is all we can help you with here from Highline Aeronautics. I assure you we are cooperating fully. But that's not, once they boarded their Learjet, they had a Learjet, that was out of our hands because we don't provide that type of service. We have helicopter services and crop dusting services here, yeah.
Oh, do you keep record of how many people got on and off each helicopter?
Yes, we have to for the logs, and she's going to open up the logs. Yeah, this is where I'm worried because, of course, our pilot was not on the helicopter when it returned to the field last night. But I wasn't here myself, but my staff here tells me that they came in, they were very aggressive. They didn't hurt anyone here, but our staff was immediately in a state of fear. Apparently they had someone of their number who could fly a helicopter. We did not know that. And yeah, it was a quick turnaround indeed, as I said. And they basically got off the chopper into their Learjet, it was parked over there on the tarmac, but I don't know which carrier that Learjet was under. Could give you the tail number though.
That would be great, thank you.
Yeah, tail N4547HF. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll definitely see if they went anywhere else, because this isn't the only ABC plant. So we'll see if they checked in with the others. Or seem to be on their way to the others.
Yeah, I just hope as agents that you catch these guys. I heard it was a mess up in Browning, and we are fully collaborating with federal authorities. And next time, we have lawyers as well, and she's going to give you the card to their legal representatives. They're going to lawyer up.
Thank you.
Again, we have no responsibility. All we did was provide transportation service, ma'am. That was all we did. We had no idea about their plans or anything.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect you to have any knowledge of that.
And I expect that my pilot has been fully collaborating with police. When can I have my pilot back? He's not guilty of any criminal activities, is he?
I think they're just trying to double check everything that he's saying before they let him go. And the area was also highly contaminated, so they might also just be trying to make sure he's doing well.
Okay, that just absolutely scares her so much. Like, you can see her jaw just drop and heavily contaminated. But we need him for our operations. We have a lot of charters coming up, and am I going to have to find a new pilot? I need to know if I'm going to have to find a new pilot. A family depends on this business.
I understand. It would probably be wise to start looking around now, since I can't guarantee when they'll release him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Best of luck, special agents. If you will excuse me, I have some phone calls to make, and she's going to just pick up the phone and start calling to keep her business afloat.
Yep. Better do that.
Better do that. So...
Well, I said let her, not better. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm not trying to be mean.
So what else do we want to do here?
I guess maybe just see if that tail number... See if there's a database we can plug that tail number into to see where else it's been.
Let's see. You can always go up to flight control in Billings, right?
Yep.
Up to the tower. And so here's the thing with flight control. The tower that you see is the tower that takes care of flight control on the ground. So the planes that leave from wherever their berths are, and then they go to the landing strip and they go to take off, and then the planes that come in to land, and they're directed across the tarmac to whatever places they're going to park. But the rest of flight traffic control goes down elsewhere, not necessarily in the tower, because you don't need to have them in the tower. Radar signals can be transmitted by electrical wiring, no less, to basements and so on. For the radar stations that are watching civilian traffic from point A to point B after takeoff and after landing, and after takeoff and before landing, that will be somewhere else. But it's going to turn out that this is it's not entirely a dead end. You will learn a few things. The Learjet in question is going to be logged, obviously, because Billings International logs all the arrivals and departures. This one is, again, registered under Nuevas Fronteras, so that particular company owns the Learjet and operates the Learjet. So now we have that much. Again, a strange language, isn't it? Does anyone have foreign languages?
I've got Italian.
It is definitely a Latin language. It's not Italian.
I actually have Latin.
Yeah, you will recognize it as a Latin language as well. So
And it's a 50, so I'm fluent. I can probably break it down.
do we have in this class familiarity with which languages are Latin languages?
Yes.
Oh, good. So it's French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Romanian, interestingly enough, and I think that's about it. Nuevas Fronteras, it's not going to be too hard for Hassel to figure that out, I don't think, right?
I don't speak. I guess I do, honestly. So yeah, easy enough for me.
Do you guys want to roll just for rolling and having a chance to get a check mark? Hassle.
Oh,
Yes.
may as well.
Roll everything.
Jesus,
Wow.
dude.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, you know,
What
at least this
is
isn't
going
during a
on?
gunfight with some horrible mythos monsters, so...
Oh my gosh.
I think
Okay.
Hassel was rolled a total of 5 checks, and 3 of them have been critical failures.
Yep.
What the
We're
hell?
only 30 minutes into this session.
Yeah, this is going great.
No. How many of us have rolled at this point? Just today. There's
been-
4 of them. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there's 4 total so far.
I've never seen so many.
Do we want to take a roll on the fumble table? Or are we just gonna pick something?
Just distracted.
Distracted? Wasn't that what you picked last time too? Because you actually had 30, so now you're distracted again. Gwyn, what about you?
Yeah.
Could it be emotional burnout, lose a d6 willpower points?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Roll a d6. Let's go. You're tired.
Yay.
It's been a long op.
I can't believe I'm being bested by entry-level language.
Entry-level language. Since we have just concluded that it's some kind of Latin language, and we can rule out Italian, Gwen. It's not Italian. Could it be something... So, fresh borders, probably? Could it be a Canadian border security contractor? They have French, right? And it's not Italian, so maybe it's French.
Not enough dashes and lines for it to be French. It's also spelled phonetically, so that's another sign that it's not French.
Something
placing bets.
borders.
I'm placing bets on Spanish, especially since they said this was from Latin America. Could be Portuguese.
Could be. But your character is not placing bets on that right yet. Sorry.
But I'm gonna guess it refers more to the fact that it is a travel company and less than the... Yeah. So New Frontiers.
Regardless, we know the name of the company and have the ability to look it up without speculating on the origin of the nation.
Yes, the internet exists. Let's do that.
There is an internet. You can look things up. All right.
Internet. Delicious.
Internet.
The internet's... Yeah, I guess we're going back to the FBI HQ in Billings and sit in a conference room.
I
with-
don't think it's necessary to go all the way back there. There's probably a much closer, easier way to access the internet.
Probably.
The library.
Yeah. You're gonna conduct top secret government investigations. I'm not sure which computers
Top
you...
secret Google search.
Yeah, I
top
don't-
secret Google search.
I was about to say, I don't think a Google search warrants a whole conference room.
Yeah,
That
at
is
this point,
fair.
we've spent
That is
so
fair.
much time not tracking these people. I think that we should minimize wasting time, and we should do a Google search where necessary.
The library.
Why not?
We're federal agents.
The library.
We're at an airport right now. Go to borrow a computer. Flash a badge. Google search something.
I'm sorry to
You
say,
drive 20
Gwen,
minutes across town.
you are the one who is the best at searching with computers.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Computer? No. No.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, all the computer
Oh.
people died or got turned into zombies or had their guts explode. So it's
Yay.
you.
I'm next. That's what that means, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
this is your role now.
Oh,
Okay. Oh
Well,
my
you got their
God.
personal address. What do you know?
Yeah.
I like to think I googled their page and just on the front it says, "We make zombies."
I mean,
I found the employee login portal.
The zombie table. You go straight to.
Can we roll in the critical success table now?
There is no such, unfortunately.
It's just the inverse of the critical
the-
failure.
Yeah.
Wumble table. Used to be Wumble table.
The tagline of the company is "Zombies are us," right?
Yeah, just in big Comic Sans magenta. Just across the front page. First thing with little confetti.
Very in the 1980s core.
Yeah.
But it's
They haven't updated their
1990s core
website
now.
recently.
Yeah, it is the 90s. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway, we got a confession on the website.
Clear.
Yeah. So this definitely means I'm gonna die next, I think. Yeah. Yep.
That is unless somebody else does.
You are, in fact, going to find some really interesting information about Nuevas Fronteras. Which is surprising to you because you didn't expect to find it so fast. I don't know, maybe your Google foo is just amazing, though I don't even know that Google exists in 1998. Did Google exist in 1998?
It's 1998. Damn.
Yes.
Yeah, 1998, yeah.
Yeah, it has been. It incorporated September 4th, 1998. So it has been existing
month
for a
old.
week. It's been existing for a week now.
So you got that newfangled Google.
I think we're using Alta Vista right now. That's what we're using. I was there. I remember. 3,000 years ago. Anyway. What we are going to get is that Nuevas Fronteras is a law firm. It has... Oh, should I put this in... Yes, I should definitely put this into evidence under dead letter, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Nuevas Fronteras. Law firm. HQ is... We will have some more. There we go. I'm going to make this available to everyone so you can see it as well. And there. So, Nuevas Fronteras, a law firm. It has an HQ in Montevideo, Uruguay. And Nuevas Fronteras routinely handles agricultural export and private aviation arrangements. So, they act like legal. They deal with export and private aviation arrangements associated with the agricultural export. And apparently they're a principal also with the whole export, the Canadian export, which means that the stuff that is exported, the pesticides that are exported to Canada, that's apparently what they're labeled as, pesticides. They don't stay in Canada, they go to Vancouver, and from there they're shipped to Uruguay.
I'm gonna be honest, I think that blue stuff is pretty the opposite of a pesticide.
Pests.
Well, you're probably right. If they spray that on pests, I think they're going to have a bigger pest problem afterwards, aren't they?
Yeah, you're never gonna get rid of those lantern flies.
To reproduce? They can't really make new cells or anything.
That's so
You just have
fair,
to-
yeah.
They can't
But they don't
reproduce.
die. So that's a problem.
You could put them in a box, and then bury that box underground, or throw it in a volcano.
Or you could put that box in a box, and you could put that box in another box, and then you could mail that box to yourself, and when it arrives, you could smash it with a giant hammer.
So are we going to Uruguay? What's the next step here?
Uruguay is going to be challenging to go to because you're FBI and you don't have jurisdiction. CIA could go there. There are some. It might be possible to get jurisdiction for such a mission. Like DEA is known to go to various missions to Latin America to stop cocaine trade, interfere with cocaine trade. They tend to officially just be advisors to local governments, so they're not running their own ops officially. Unofficially, they're running the local government's ops. But so to get FBI involved in this, that's gonna require a lot of legal hopscotch.
We should tell somebody, the
Yeah.
higher-ups, what the hell is going on.
Okay, so short answer, we can't go to Uruguay, so we tell Drake that the trail basically ends at a third-party intermediary in South America, which is pretty much what we knew in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah, but we know
Can we
the
call-
trail too. We know the trail of where the pesticides go. Location, at least.
From Canada to Uruguay.
I would like you all to roll a criminology test, please. Because I'm.
No, I
evil.
think the company is based in Uruguay. But it is going into Canada, and then
It goes to Canada and then
Yeah.
somewhere else. And then here.
I'll pass. I don't want to critical fucking fail it again. Actually, I may as well.
Do it.
It's minus 20 on
Do
a
it.
10.
What the heck?
Oh,
we
wow.
believe in you.
With that attitude.
Yay!
Oh, I won. I win.
You win. How is
You win
Morgan
criminology.
the one who spots this?
Jeez.
How is Morgan the one who spots this? You have no. Okay.
Who's committed the most crime?
Yes. I
She's
am the
committed the
most
most
crime.
crime. Ah,
Yes.
that's gotta be it.
I am the most crimes committed out of everyone here.
I'll just say, if we rack up the sum total deaths responsible, or that each agent is responsible for, I think Morgan outranks us by a lot.
Yes. Literally,
There we go. Sent you something.
the only one here whose job is to kill people. Yo, guys, I have the best idea ever.
Oh god, what is it?
There is no way this company is not a front. It's a cartel or some shit.
Yes?
Literally, it's literally the biggest shell ever.
Where is this going?
It's like a drug cartel.
Yeah? Yeah, that's how medical companies work. What about it?
For crime.
It's not going to be the Sinaloa cartel because they are in fact in Colombia, not Uruguay.
Oh yeah, Uruguay cartel. We should probably look up cartels in Uruguay. Yeah. The FBI.
Like it's run. You meant that it's run by the. Okay, I get it now. Sorry.
It's run by a cartel. It's a shell. It's a cartel shell. A shell
Sorry,
cartel.
I thought you meant it was a cartel shell run by a business.
No, it's a business. The business is a shell run by the cartel. The cartel
Okay.
shell.
Okay, let's go after the cartel shell.
Blair would also know this because Blair is smart and knows everything. And also won the criminology check. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Blair, by this time, your phone, your special phone, is going to ring.
Okay. Yeah. Blair picks up. Agent Zaki here.
This is Agent Alphonse. Agent Drake sent a photograph through the channels. That man, the blonde man in the suit, that man is not a mercenary, not a corporate fixer. That is Karotechia. I know you don't know what that word means.
No, I don't.
I have no idea how they are still alive. They should be my age now at best, and he looks just like when I saw him in 1943.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Plot twist.
Wait,
He's been drinking the goo!
wait,
He
holy
drank
shit.
per-
Holy shit, okay, out of character. Do you guys remember when Talbot was at Club Apocalypse and there was that blonde dude? What if this is the blonde dude?
Oh, do you remember that guy on the mountain? The one that didn't age?
Yeah?
He had the purple
Well-
stuff in him.
He keeps talking,
Oh, shit.
Alphonse does. I met them in France. Not once, not twice. There was a war on, an hour war, in Delta Green. Was against the Karotechia. They were pursuing the Führer's occult obsessions. Particularly trying to create a reanimated soldier to turn the tide of war.
Oh no.
And now, here he is again. By a chemical plant
Bullshit.
in Montana, where the dead are walking again.
Safe to say, probably related.
You want his
Yeah.
name. You won't find it in your databases. You won't find it in any nice modern system. You will find it in the old archives. In 44, I watched a safe house go quiet in under a day. People who were careful, people who knew how to vanish, gone. No warning, no noise. That was his signature. He's not a man, he's a predator. Reinhard Galt.
He's a vampire. Rest.
His last name is Gaunt.
That's a vampire name.
That's a vampire name.
That motherfucker's a vampire.
Something impossible is walking around in a clean suit.
Vampire.
Checks out.
Oh.
Okay, but why would a vampire need to reanimate the dead? I feel like a vampire is
For more vampires,
already
obviously.
reanimated. Can't vampires just make more Don't
Well,
they like,
I-
actually reproduce?
I will be
Well, they
sending
can
you
reanimate the dead. They can
what
make
I
other
have.
living things living dead.
Old reports, names that may mean nothing to you but will mean something to the people who still remember. In the end, officially, Galt disappeared at the end of the war.
He drank the purple shit.
One more thing. Do not say the word Karotechia on any line you do not control. And if you see him in person, do not look at him like a man. And be very careful.
Understood.
I thought he was already dead decades ago. Good luck. Click.
Oh no.
What'd he say? Ow, my ribs.
I guess Blair just explains everything that was said.
Well, I guess the cartel shell was real. Okay. Freaky.
So let me get this straight. We got a World War II vampire who is not on our side, who is trying to reanimate the dead.
Not a
And
shred of
he has
guilt in
a-
that man.
And he has a helicopter. I feel like it's very important that we keep in mind that the vampire has a helicopter.
No, he doesn't have the helicopter anymore. He has a Learjet, though.
Yeah.
I think it's
probably
very
yours.
important to keep in mind that the vampire has a Learjet.
He probably has
The point
more than
stand-
that.
The
He
point
probably has,
stands
like-
he can. The point stands he can move along the Z-axis while we cannot.
Dang, and then alter. He can stay out of the sunlight.
I don't know if this is
indefinitely
even
if he
in
just
our
stays on
hands
the right
right
side of
now.
the planet.
Yeah, I don't recall a vampire hunter being in the job description.
Supernatural,
hunting
so
unnatural.
yeah. Technically, it is in the job description.
Probably we're supposed to hunt these guys.
I mean,
Oh. Do we get garlic? Call a toxic X? I don't know. How do you stop a vampire?
Oh, I'm
Interview
gonna
them?
just explain the purple stuff. I'm gonna just bring up the purple stuff with, like, remember Cooter? Cooter, right?
Yeah. How could I
I
forget?
think this is Cooter 2,
Scooter 2 electric
because
boogaloo?
it's sounding very similar to what happened to the thing we heard about Cooter.
Yeah, but he seems
remember-
a bit more lucid, if
Last
that
thing-
makes sense.
Yeah, but it could be Cooter, but more.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
It
it's
seems like-
involving the purple stuff.
It seems like
This
the
feels like
purple
a purple
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, it feels like the purple stuff makes some people lose their minds while others retain faculties for whatever reason.
Yeah, what if,
So it could be that
what if the
Cooter-
stuff is a bootleg purple stuff, though? He's trying to replicate.
But wasn't the
something
purple
on
stuff
the zombies.
just the purple stuff was just an adhesive. I don't think it could bring back the dead.
Yeah, but it's healing.
Yeah, but this doesn't
This seems
regenerate
like some
anything.
version-
It just places in
It feels
stasis.
feels very similar.
Yeah, it's similar.
It's like an attempt to
It's definitely
scratch.
within the same family.
Feels like an attempt to recreate it from scratch. They've been trying to. It feels like, from what we've heard, they've been trying and failing to do something with this blue stuff. They haven't succeeded yet. Information we've gathered. Had the scientist working in there trying to find, like, all sorts of stuff. I'm not the science guy. Obviously. I'm too stupid for that. But it felt like they was trying to recreate something beyond their understanding.
Yeah. It could be that the blue stuff is also a synthetic version of the purple stuff if it does originate from a supernatural entity.
Mm-hmm.
Hassel looks pretty frustrated at this point. What does it matter if it's blue or purple?
Because they do different stuff.
Do you know where the purple stuff comes from?
Eldritch gods.
Okay, and do you have one that you can go milk? That you know where the source is? If these guys might be going to synthesize something?
No, but we're thinking they might be making the almond milk version of the purple stuff.
Okay, so you're saying we need to find
the
almond
stuff
farm.
through my head, maybe.
What I'm saying is that we don't have access to the titties that the purple stuff comes from.
And that's so following a logical train here and not being any joke. If they're making almond milk because they can't milk the cow, then we need to find the almond farm, right?
Yeah.
If you look in your evidence now that I've brought up to you, you will find a file on Reinhard Galt, including a picture from the war.
I don't like that uniform.
Oh.
That uniform is even worse than you would imagine, because on his cap he does not have that insignia. He has the skull and crossbones, and on his, the collar, he has the SS lightning symbols. This man used to be an SS, a high-ranking officer of the SS.
Great. It's a Nazi vampire. Wonderful.
Oh, no.
And you get the chance to punch him. Maybe.
Yay!
What are we doing now, folks? Because
I get to punch a vampire Nazi!
The Learjet left Billings using VFR, which means that he didn't have to file a flight plan. All you get from the tower is that they left in a southerly direction, and as far as Drake knows, because I'm sure you have given him the tail number, you have not gotten any pings, any responses, any positive ID of a Learjet with that tail number coming in at any major airport in the US. It could be at a minor airport, though, because they might not have the same connections to FBI and so on. Or, at this time, he could have left US airspace entirely.
Yeah.
It did take a while for us to get here to this area.
It took you, yeah, it was a long night.
It took
You
us
slept.
hours.
Took you a couple of hours to get here, and it would take... If you want to go to Canada from here by flight, it wouldn't be that long. You can go from Billings to... From Billings to Lethbridge. Alberta would take... What? Why is it saying 15 hours? That seems...
I'm sorry.
Absolutely
I'm missing.
insane.
What's in Alberta?
Just the closest airport, basically. It's not gonna be...
Yeah, I don't think he'd be going to the closest airport. He would probably be going to Uruguay, which is private jet, right?
Yeah,
Learjet.
that makes
Probably
sense.
He's probably going back to hell where he belongs.
Yeah, it's a realistic question.
I'm just saying, if he's
I was
going
having a
away
conversation
from...
in
If he's
America
going away
earlier.
from... the US, the quickest way to fly would be to fly north and get into Canadian airspace. But if he wants to, even if he wants to go south, he could plausibly have gotten out of US airspace by now, because I don't know, how far is it to go Billings to San Diego?
He also could have done Russian or Japanese airspace.
It's 4 hours to get to San Diego from here, so yeah, by now he can definitely be in Mexico, in Mexican airspace.
So hopping back into that conversation that we were having, before all that.
The one about milking Eldritch God titties? That
So we don't know where he is currently. He's either gone to an area where we're not going to be able to catch him because we don't know where secret immortal Nazis hang out. So he either is going somewhere still in the continental United States that we would have reasonable understanding to go to. Do you guys know about any almond farms, metaphorical here, that he might be stopping at before he leaves the country?
Abe doesn't have any plants in the US. There was a plant in the Philippines. There was a plant in China, I believe. I think they also had a plant in somewhere in Africa, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, none of the other stuff's here.
This guy and his team came here for a specific mission that seems to be mopping up loose ends, and they seem to have been very effective in doing so, right?
Yeah, but except we were there and we watched the whole thing happen.
Correct. So, besides us and the majority of the tribal council, is there any potential other loose ends we're aware of that they might at least have any awareness of, that we might think they would have any reason to stop at? Because otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, they're out of the country. Like,
Oh, their primary research facility, you would know this, is actually outside Baltimore, Maryland. Otherwise, it's South Korea, Taiwan, and the People's Republic of China.
Okay.
so do we think that they have any connection or knowledge to anybody in Baltimore, Maryland is related to this and might be headed that way?
Baltimore isn't too far from DC. Thinking about
And what's the connection to DC?
I don't know. Federal government. It's a lot of shady stuff there.
I'm sorry. Do we think this guy has connections to the federal government?
Why wouldn't he?
Why?
He has a helicopter.
He has a Learjet.
He has a
He
jet.
got the helicopter from here.
Yeah.
Either way, he has private aircraft. I'm willing to bet he's got bribe money. Might be trying to smooth things over, get the whole eco-terrorism thing off the books.
Do we need the corkboard?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the corkboard. It's been a while since we visited the corkboard. Everything has gone weird since then, hasn't it?
Yeah. We might need a larger corkboard.
Yeah, okay, let's go. So what do we want to put on the corkboard, folks?
Vampire Nazi.
Hassel literally knows nothing about the situation, so he's fully relying on you guys to update him so far, and needs everything that you guys have given him.
Okay, we got Vampire Nazi
Not
and
telling you
Eldritch
about Corso
God
yet.
milking
You're not
plant.
friends. Not good enough friends.
Wait, didn't we call Corso?
Yeah, we did,
You
but not in front of
attempted to
Big
call
Man
for it.
over here.
Okay,
Not in
yeah,
front of
no.
Big Man. He's not
Let's
trusted
make it,
enough. He's not one of us. He's not one of us.
He's not trusted enough to commit treason.
You haven't been through at least one crime with Morgan.
Can we put some
he's
stuff
not
on the
gonna tell you
corkboard?
about the. He's
Please?
not gonna tell you about the cult.
Yeah,
Okay,
here
so
we have
corkboard.
Reinhard Galt, Vampire Nazi. We have
Okay.
Amalgamated Biocarb, and they have... There we go. More post-its. Let's make it also red. They have facilities in PRC, South Korea, Taiwan. There. And their main HQ, as it were, is in Maryland.
Oh, I don't want to go to Maryland.
Now, here's the thing. You also know that they were contracted. So, the buyers of Sapphire, right? I'm going to use blue for this. Sapphire. What do we know about Sapphire?
Brings back the dead. Got that.
Zombie creating chemistry, shall we say?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this was bought apparently by Nuevas Fronteras. We don't know. We only know it's a shell company, right?
Yes.
Of some kind.
That's in Uruguay.
That's in Uruguay, yes. Montevideo, Uruguay. That's a lot of text to keep track of here, but we are managing it. There we go. And Reinhard Galt has led, apparently is affiliated with Nuevas Fronteras. We don't know exactly how. But we have affiliations like this because he was the one who was sent with his commando squad to clean up the ABC facility and to, yeah, I guess, make sure all the loose ends are taken care of. So that's the ABC place is done, right? That's off the map at this stage, at least as far as Sapphire is concerned. We know that Sapphire was exported from the ABC facility through Canada to Uruguay, all under the umbrella of Nuevas Fronteras.
Yes.
We also know that Nuevas Fronteras is a shell company. So here's a question for you then. Shell company for whom?
Probably the Nazi guy.
We know that
This shall be.
the
Or
Nazi
the Karotechia.
guy,
We could probably
Vampire
interconnect
Nazi,
all of those.
used to be a member of SS Karotechia division during World War II.
So if Karotechia was around during World War II, are we assuming that they are a group of vampire Nazis?
Our group led by one vampire Nazi.
Yeah, I don't think we have any reason to believe there's any more than one, and there's also no reason to believe he's actually a vampire. As funny as it is to keep saying it, we should probably just call him Undying or something.
Here we have his picture. I'm gonna make it smaller.
He looks vampire-ish. Technically, one can describe him as a vampire.
Dude, so does Sacha Baron Cohen. We don't call him a
He
vampire.
sustains his life on the blood of others. By killing
And
people.
here's the more recent picture, of course, of the same man that you have from airport surveillance.
Yeah, that is... That's
There we
very
go.
definitely a
Is it the
vampire.
same guy? Kind of looks like the same guy.
You can't see his hair on the hat.
That is true.
He reminds me of Albert Wesker, honestly.
But you can tell that he has not aged a single day. Unless the man in the picture is the son or the grandson of the actual Reinhard Galt.
Alphonse. He sure thinks that it isn't.
Alphonse apparently had a flashback when he saw the picture you sent him. Because he was like, oh, I know this guy. Obviously. You could hear it on his voice, Blair. He was like, that was as close as Agent Alphonse has ever come to say, fuck. In your presence.
No.
Which is probably not good news, because he's been doing this literally since the 40s. So, he has survived
Yeah,
50 years of this shit.
When the old guy starts saying, "Fuck," we're probably screwed.
Yeah.
We're definitely screwed. We might be beyond screwed. I think at this point we're drilled.
Jackhammered, baby.
Do we have any plans here for the evening? It's the evening now of Sunday,
Do we report all this?
September
Yeah,
13th, 6 o'clock.
We're looking at the
Report all
board.
this to
So is
ASL.
this an actual physical board with all the information that's on here and not just what we've talked about?
It could be. It's mostly a player aid, like a murder board for you to put pictures and places and evidence and connect things. Because sometimes visualizing helps.
Then yeah, Hassel looks at the corkboard that we've all put up, and he's, hey, I can't help but notice that all these different colored ones in yellow we haven't talked about. Who's Miss Lin Wei and Dwight X and the Ecotopian Environment Fancy?
Okay, so-
have you presented any of that to?
We
to
got
Hassel?
the paper from.
So the Yeah, the letter was from the Ecotopian. And Miss Linway, I think, is in charge of the Ecotopian. Dwight is the assistant that I charmed so that we could sneak in to talk to Miss Linway. And there was an episode where we then got them to organize a student protest at ABC.
I'm sorry, real quick. You said a letter. You got a letter from
Yeah, that's how this all
the
started.
Ecotopian?
No.
It was to the Ecotopian.
Doghead package was supposed to go to the Ecotopian, and Miss Linway was supposed to be the one to receive it. But we
A dog head?
intercepted.
Someone mailed her a dead dog head, like an intimidation thing? Like,
It was
Like,
not
no,
dead.
An
It
animated dog head.
was a zombie dog.
oh, like the zombie of a dog head got mailed her.
This
in, like,
is
the
why
public
we're out
mail.
here. Yes, this is why we're out here. The animated
Okay.
dog head reached a main mail supplier, and we were called out to investigate. That's how. This is why we were out here, and that's what led us to all of this.
So who mailed her the dog?
Thomas
It
Ironshirt,
was.
supposedly.
We
This is-
believe it was his girlfriend using his name.
Yep.
But it had his name. Anyway, it's complicated. There was mail fraud.
Okay, when was the last time that we saw her?
Last time we
Before
saw
yeah.
her,
She got
Everything.
taken hostage in
Yeah.
the whole thing, I think.
we don't
She
know
was
if she was
from
taken
Pakistan.
hostage. She was working at the ABC plant. We saw her enter, and then we didn't see her
She's
leave.
probably dead.
She could be one of the victims of the whole.
I'm also
The
assuming
release of that
Iron Shirt is
chemical.
also dead too.
Probably.
Okay, so Iron Shirt and Lin Wei. I'm sorry, not Lin Wei. You said, what was the lady
Lynn
that sent
Crystalstone.
Lynn Crystalstone? Okay, so Iron Shirt and Lynn Crystalstone were the only connection to Lin Wei. So as long as they're both dead and out of the picture, we shouldn't have to worry about the Ecotopian at all.
No.
They
yes.
might be here in a few days.
I'm assuming we
I-
canceled that, or the news would have reached them by now.
I'm
gonna
sorry,
be
I thought
honest.
somebody said that they were not having a protest and somebody shut that down.
Yeah, it's
I
the
mean,
place to run a
as-
protest.
I guess as much as you can shut down a student-led protest.
I think somebody just yesterday or even today, when we were having a conversation in reference to it, said, oh yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That was Thomas Ironshirt. I'm just saying people still might show up.
Thomas Ironshirt said he was going to shut down the student protest. With what authority?
No, that was somebody
No,
else.
sorry. Red Crow.
Drake.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
can't get names straight. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought it was Drake.
Yeah, I think it was Drake who said it.
Yeah.
Okay, Drake. Someone said it. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Okay, so in that case, we don't have to worry
Yeah.
about any of them at all because they're not connected and no one's going to have them over here, right?
Yes, they're no longer a concern.
Yeah.
Cool. So are we focusing on Uruguay, Baltimore? What are we doing?
We don't have much options.
Yeah.
So We can't leave the country, at least not right now. So I guess the best thing would be to report back and see if they'll send us to Maryland next.
Okay.
So we won't do that?
All right,
I
so
assume so.
are we off to bed then? In a motel
What?
room?
Yep.
Hoping that trails are picked up. Excellent. It's going to be a hotel room now because you're in Billings and this is a great place to be.
The actual city,
And yeah,
actual amenities.
actual amenities and everything. It's going to be so sweet. And it's also probably going to give you a chance to store up on some willpower points and everything like that. Nice, good night's sleep is what you all need, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not getting it.
My willpower is already full.
Yeah, yours is. You're one of the few.
Strangely, my willpower has not been touched much this entire op. I think it would be. It's not.
All right. Is this the first op for the first night on an op for Castle, by the way? I just realized. Delta Green tradition! Let's get drunk!
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
Hassel will
I finally get my coffee.
Hassel will say no thank you.
What?
You don't drink? Join the
Break
club.
your tradition?
The more
We're
they
not
don't
peer
drink,
pressuring our workers into drinking. We've taken
Clear head on the job.
I'll
we've
offer him a
taken the
coffee.
extra
though.
trainings.
I'm just disappointed, so.
I offer him a coffee.
Oh, okay. Well,
We
since we're not
respect our
doing the drinking
coworkers'
game,
decisions.
sharing your horror stories, I'm gonna wake Syra up in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Your phone rings.
Gonna pick it up.
Syra? Syra? Hey, don't hang up. Don't hang up. You hear a whisper. That sounds like Dwight? You hear
That is
wind and fabric brushing a microphone. It's breathing as fast, it's controlled, it's trying not to be late and not to be loud.
Quite a zombie.
Okay.
Sorry,
What's
I
up?
know it's
Keep
late.
calm.
I need you to listen. I'm being taken. Right now. You can hear a dull thump, like a car door closing, and then a sharper one. Right now. Don't call me
who?
back. Don't. Just listen. You can hear a muffled male voice. Close. Says something you can't make out. You can hear Dwight make it. It's a van. Dark. Like navy or black. Old. The smells. Smokes.
Oh shit.
They have boots. Big boots. They're laughing. They're playing really freaky music. I think they're skinheads.
Speaking German?
No German. They're just laughing and. Just a sec.
Is the smoke blue? Ask him if the smoke's blue.
Is the smoke blue?
There's. I don't know. I can't see much. They grabbed Fiona first. I thought I could help, but they knew my name, Syra. They knew my name.
They did.
You can
Where
hear.
did they take you from?
Oh shit.
You can hear very loud music in the background, and that music is definitely white power music, like white power metal of some kind. It's very
Oh.
jarring. I can see a sign.
God.
I can see a. Okay, it's a green sign. It says 580. I saw 580 and something about maybe Hayward. I don't know. And then you can hear a voice barking closer. The phone is scraping against some fabric. They have tattoos. One has a spider web on his elbow. One of them, he has I think I saw a fucking swastika on their head, man. They say the name, Horst. Horst wants to meet the girl. Syra, if something happens, please tell the police that Fiona is gone too. This is not a prank. And then you hear a scuffle and a grunt.
Dwight's dead. Oops.
Rest in peace, Dwight.
Oh my god.
We called it. He was gonna go out brutally.
He's gonna get zombies.
Yeah.
The last
I think we
you
involved
hear,
him too much.
the last you hear is, I shouldn't have called that Montana place. And then the line goes dead.
Shit. He did call him
He
on
got
that.
kidnapped by he got kidnapped by the Nazis.
Oh god. I can't believe I'd actually end up feeling bad for Dwight.
So
Guys, wake up. They got Dwight.
yeah, they got Dwight.
Consequences for everything, boys and girls.
He involved Dwight in this, so they got him.
Wait, who got Dwight?
The Nazis.
The Nazis. The Nazis got Dwight.
They landed. Wait, where are they again? Where's the Ecotopian?
California.
The Nazis landed in California.
Montana place.
No,
Called
he
the
said he
Montana
called
place.
the place on Montana, yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
Montana place. And the Nazis came to kidnap him. And Fiona.
so the Nazis are in California. Okay, we got a location. Let's go.
All right. I have a feeling everybody's getting out of their beds really fast to go to San Francisco. Or where in California do you want to go?
What's 508? Is that an area code?
Or a highway
No,
code.
it was a road sign.
It's probably a highway.
You said what? Hay something?
580.
Yes. I guess we'll just pull up a road map and see if there's like a 580 near a hay.
There'll be some navigation rolls, I see.
Oh no.
Alright, so, scene skip, smash cut to Z-Cell running downstairs to get your car to go out to Billings Airport to
It's the highest
while-
navigate out of
while you are calling Drake, maybe, to organize an actual flight to get you to San Francisco stat, which the FBI and or the Air Force are very happy to help you with because you're on the trails for a very lethal and dangerous eco-terrorist that has already caused a body count, right?
Yeah, yeah, and they
Yeah.
kidnapped a student. That too.
Yeah, well,
Because
you
that
don't need to
too.
tell them that necessarily. We have a lead, is all you need, is essentially. Yeah, we are going to be back in San Francisco, where all of this began, isn't it? How's that going to make you feel? A 4-hour
Yay.
flight on the red
Yay.
eye. So,
Make
And you
sure
got
to
some
check the
stuff
gun.
on the airplane.
by the time you land and are in fact in situ in San Francisco, I'm going to say it's going to be... Okay, local time, so that actually puts it back to 8 o'clock, because you are going backwards in time, because of time zone differences, right? So, we are back in San Francisco. Are we catching sleep on the plane, or are we planning on the plane?
I'm planning on the plane. I need
But
to
they will
find
still
where
have
we
to
went.
drive, so I'll sleep on the plane.
All right.
Blair's also
My
gonna
navigation
sleep.
skills. Yeah, Morgan's also sleeping.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice and say that you regain a D3 willpower points, not a full D6 though, because you're really not getting a full night's sleep. It's just something to keep you going.
My willpower is full, so I'm just doing this for the love of the game.
Your willpower is very low indeed, so. Or rather, I'm gonna say, Blair, you don't have to lose a D6 willpower for burning the midnight oil. How about that? Whereas Gwyn will have to lose a D6 willpower because you are burning the midnight oil. What are we doing here during the flight?
I think. Nothing. We are doing nothing.
You try to do
sleeping.
something initially during the flight, and then you pass out. You're gonna be probably awake for 2 hours where you're trying to pursue things, and then you pass out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going great. Alright, so arriving in San Francisco, you will notice that Gwyn hasn't had the chance to get anything done. I'm gonna give Gwyn 1 willpower point, but you are still exhausted.
Yep.
And yeah, what do we do from here, folks? You know only that Dwight has been taken by skinheads.
I'm going to go ahead and grab a road map while somebody takes the wheel, and we will hit the 580, the 508.
That's a terrible roll. Morgan,
Navigation.
can you do better with navigation?
I have around the same.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, Sarah Gwyn cannot do much
Nope.
good right now. I have a feeling Gwyn is going to fall asleep in the car as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do the navigations.
Who just rolled a 2? Who was that?
Me.
But it
The
didn't
target was The target was -10. I forgot I was exhausted.
Oh my
You're
god.
exhausted, yeah. Does anyone have... Nobody has law. Nobody in this group has law. Okay. That's a skill someone will have to practice after this up, I'm just saying. Alright. We have just failures when it comes to navigation. So you have no idea of where to find
Oh, good.
this 580 or so on. Do you want the transcript of the call? You
Is
have
there a hey?
some leads in the call. They said skinheads, right? They said
Yes.
van.
With
They said a name, Horst. Horst wants to meet the girl.
Yeah, let's see if upstate California has any van dealerships by a skinhead called Horst.
Yep. Sure.
Van dealerships that
Let's not actually waste time on that, but let's try to figure something out based on
deals-
this information.
You want a van dealership.
DMV could probably pull up results for a Horst who has a van. Or at least a Horst.
I think normally you'd have to have that by county, and you would normally need to know what the van's VIN number
Yeah.
or license plate.
All right.
They also said that
Bureaucracy
Lin Wei was
checks.
taken-
That's what we want to get that kind of information.
Oh.
Has Hassel passed a single test?
Oh.
Not yet,
Not
no.
me.
Oh my god.
Morrigan! This is going great. What kind of fumble do you want?
Confusion.
Confusion?
Yeah.
Okay, gain false information. That is what confusion is. Okay. Interesting. Bureaucracy has been checked off as well. All the skills have been checked off. But Blair has a critical success. That is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Horst. So Horst is not going to be a very common name in California, obviously. Because, let's face it, Hassel will recognize the name as German. See, your language is already very useful, isn't it? You didn't expect that when you designed this character, did you?
I thought the Latin would be more relevant, honestly.
Immediately useful language, because you're actually chasing neo-Nazis. So, let's see. We're gonna get a hit, and you have a critical success on this for Blair, so you're gonna get a very good hit. I'm just gonna roll on the fumble table for Cal, honestly. Emotional burnout. Here we go. Do you want to lose willpower points or temporarily lose something from your...
I can afford to lose willpower.
Of course. There we go. You're down to 2. You're gonna keel over soon and pass out.
Oh, you rolled it. Okay.
Anyway, Blair, here's what you're gonna find. As you're going through addresses and going through DMV databases, there are some Horsts in Southern California, but I think one name will pop up to you with particular interest. One Horst Jaeger. Because he has a note as being a leader of a white power group here in California. And that white power group is known as the Bear Flag Republic.
Oh no.
New Vegas fans.
And yes, he owns a van. In fact, he owns several.
Okay.
Cool. Does he have a business or a property or some address or something?
Oh, he definitely has properties. And since you rolled a critical success, it's gonna turn out that he has a cabin that you can get to if you drive on the 580. It's up in the foothills of the Rockies. In a
Let's
logging
go.
area.
All right.
Okay, so you say let's go, and I don't hate the idea. But what do we do when we get to the neo-Nazi cabin in the woods where they kidnapped your friend? Dude.
That's
Right.
what you do with neo-Nazis.
Okay,
I
so
don't know how many
we're all in
there is.
agreement. Are we going in with, we're feds, right? Or are we going in with a team? There's been a kidnapping? Is it just us? Are we telling anybody?
Probably
We
tell
have
somebody.
Morrigan.
Yeah, I'm here.
He's wounded.
You
Pretty
technically are not allowed to kill him.
But fuck, he's a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but even neo-Nazis have
Well, against the
constitutional
law.
rights, habeas corpus, Miranda, all that stuff.
Not in my world.
Yeah,
Not in
Yeah,
my
that
eyes.
kidnap somebody.
If
I
we
got
are willing-
megalomania, motherfucker, and I have decided he needs to die. Wait, do I have megalomania? Hold on.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Either way, I have decided we needed to destroy this man.
So does that mean it's just us going in there? Are we bringing police
You're not
back
gonna
up?
alert the police of a kidnapping?
What are we supposed to tell the police? Oh yeah, I guess we could tell them we got a call.
Yeah, it's like a college
Like,
student
hey.
just literally called us saying
This
that
is
he got
they
kidnapped.
literally committed a crime by kidnapping apparently 2 college students. Yes.
And they are linked to an eco-terror. Yeah, let's just tell the police.
But
We're on the-
telling the
we're on an
police
eco-
means that the state troopers and everything that will come with you, they're gonna play this by the book. They might take, because it's a kidnapping case, which is something that the FBI will often take a lead on, but it's gonna be by the book, so no extrajudicial killings. You arrest them, you put them in handcuffs, you read them their rights. Unless, of course, they use deadly force, in which case you're allowed to shoot back.
They
They
probably
have to
might.
shoot first.
Works for me. Let's go.
Works for you. Let's go. Very good.
So that we're notifying local authorities
Also,
and going in as
me,
part of the
Morgan,
task
I'm
force.
pretty tired.
You spoke at the same time.
I am very tired and also beat up, so if you put me in a gunfight, there's a very high chance I might die.
That's why we're getting state troopers.
Very good.
Also, I've got to go. I can still listen in, but I just can't talk anymore. I've got to go to my
Very sad.
exam.
But you got the horrible knowledge of what's happening to Dwight, didn't you?
I can add my sarcastic comments in the message chat.
Very good.
Bye.
So, how are we going to coordinate this with local and state troopers? Dwight belongs to the jurisdiction of San Francisco Police Department. That's where he resides. And if anyone has listed him as missing, the SFPD will have that investigation. The cabin is going to be along state patrol routes. Some county. So that's an entirely different jurisdiction. So it depends on, I don't think the San Francisco PD can operate over there, but you can definitely get state patrol help and whatever county help.
I think the highway patrol, since he was taken across the county lines via the interstate. But yeah, I guess the best would be to roll up a bureaucracy on that one.
Yes,
Hope I don't
indeed.
fail it again. Ah, here's the hope.
Oh my god.
We have a bureaucratic
Oh my
complete
lord.
and utter mishap. How many critical failures
I've never
have we
seen
rolled
so many
far,
critical
Hassel?
fails. 7.
It's
I'm
a
at,
lot.
I have rolled 6 times and I have got 3 critical failures.
That is extraordinary. Do you want to roll for a fumble or do you want to take one?
Just rolling one.
Alienation would be lovely here if you're alienating local PD and they refuse to work with you.
Yes, by all means.
No.
I'm just gonna act like I know jurisdictions and everything better than everybody else, and they're a fool for not just listening to me and falling in.
Oh no.
But you know I'm a freaking Fed. I shine my badge at the phone menacingly.
Some bureaucracy.
This is going great.
But I
This is
don't
going
know.
great.
I've never seen so many critical fails in one hop
No,
before.
this is
Yeah.
some kind of new record. Absolutely. There is a county sheriff's office, obviously, but yeah, everything is gonna slow down and create paper trails right now. The watch commander's tone changes as you are talking to him like the arrogant Fed you are and just ordering him around. And he's gonna be like, who are you exactly? What agency? What is your case number? Who's your supervisor? What's the phone number at your field office?
And yeah, at that point, I'm not going to answer all those questions. Who's even going to...
Yeah, okay. So they're gonna be like, yeah, no, this is a crank call. Click. You're on your own.
Oh my god.
Did you even give them your name or anything like that?
Presumably with a 66, I would not have. Realistically, playing as a logical
I'm
character.
an FBI
yeah.
special
same way
agent,
that-
and I'm urgently pursuing a bunch of neo-Nazis who had kidnapped someone. They are in your... Get your lazy, donut-sucking officers under my supervision right now. Okay, that didn't work. I have no idea why.
I probably wouldn't have said that.
You were cursed today.
You're absolutely,
Yeah.
utterly cursed today.
Yeah, that's...
I could have tried rolling for bureaucracy, but like...
Or I could have, because
But-
at least I have a 53,
Rick-
but yeah.
We're
Call a
supposed
different
to be the
department. I only
bureaucracy
started with one.
master.
Oh, yeah, so...
So we're gonna drive by now. Let's see now. It's gonna be another couple of hours because you're driving inland from San Francisco, and clearly, Syra Gwyn is just gonna pass out, right? That's because she is exhausted and she's just falling asleep in the car. So this explains why Gwyn is out of this particular fight. And how are we gonna approach this cabin, Horst Jaeger's cabin? I'll describe a little bit here for you. So, basically, you will arrive towards... It's State Road 12. It's a logging road deep in the mountains north of Sonora. The terrain is mountainous. It's dense pine and redwood forests out here. How close do you want to get to the cabin before you leave your vehicle and start stealthing closer?
I'd say about 3/4 of a mile.
That makes sense.
As we all get out of the car, Hassel will go to the trunk. He will take out a very large, hard plastic case, out of which he will take a very fancy-looking safari-style double-barrel rifle with a scope on it. And he'll sling it over his shoulder.
Ooh.
You have a Mossberg, Blair.
I,
Morgan,
I also have one too.
You have a hand grenade. How did you get the hand grenade through? Yes. You have a Mossberg, a Sig Sauer, K-bar. Yeah, we have some good stuff here, don't we?
Yep.
How close are you going to try to get to the cabin before, given your stealth ratings? We have... Morgan has excellent stealth.
Very
I
smart.
would like to propose that instead of stealth, I roll survival to make a more hidden approach, since we're in the woods.
Since
I'm
we're in the
very good at
woods,
surviving.
okay, I'll accept that. Blair
I was
is
just kind of
not
trying to
taking
find
note.
a better terrain for approach.
Yeah, it is. And for once, you don't fail the roll. Look at that. I'm impressed. Yeah! Alright. I'm going
Hooray.
to assume that Blair is keeping 100 yards between you and the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Because you can't... This is not...
I'm very good
Yeah,
at
it's
surviving.
either a 36 or a 35, so no.
That's just terrible.
Coincidentally, with my
are-
scope, that's about my good range to engage. I can shoot about 300 feet out without any minuses with the scope.
Alright. You decide exactly what range you want to be at, but you can see, and I'm sure you have looking equipment like binoculars and whatnot. The cabin is built on a slope, it's facing toward the logging road, and yes, there's going to be a bunch of vehicles out there. Vans, pickup trucks. The grounds around the cabin have been cleared of underbrush and trees within 30 meters of the cabin. So the last approach you'll have to do is going to be without cover. The front of the cabin is covered by... Let's go. We need some... What do we want here? Search goes fine. Search checks. Yes, let's do some search checks. Search checks.
It's been a long time since I've done a search.
And you've
And I
completely forgotten how to do one, clearly.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
We're just absolutely
Those dice
impressed.
have to be curved.
I'm having so much fun with this character, guys. This is. I'm so glad we're on.
It's either the
stage
character or
14
the
of this
dice.
game.
Wait, no, I think it's because Hassel is such bad luck.
Next session,
because
he's going to
you
roll
screwed up.
all critical successes because it has to even out sooner or later, right?
He's got such bad luck, it's spreading to everybody else.
Okay, what kind of fumble do we get for you? Exhaustion!
That's-
I don't want exhaustion.
What do you want then?
I want to do stimulants instead.
Oh my god.
No, there is no stimulants. There's
don't have any
distraction,
drugs.
confusion.
Okay, stimulants.
You don't have any drugs.
No, I'm saying I'll take exhaustion, but I'm gonna do stimulants instead.
Oh, you're gonna do stimulants. Do you have stimulants?
Yeah.
What kind of stimulants do you have?
The original plan was to have a little bag of Adderalls, but I'll take just cigarettes too.
No cocaine here, apparently. How about a really
No
big
cocaine.
jug of coffee? That's not even
Oh, that-
illegal.
That's fine too.
I share some of mine because I always keep one on me.
So what is that? Yeah, spend 1d6 and then gain 1d6.
What is it? It is... Stimulants give you... I think you can ignore the negative for a moment.
I think it's you spend 1d6
A
will
D6,
points in 1d6 hours.
Taking stimulants or chain smoking removes the exhaustion penalty for a d6 hours.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Roll a d6. Let's see how long you're gonna be like, get a kick to your system. 2 hours. Plenty of time, right?
I sure hope so.
Okay. Blair is the only one who succeeds with a search check here. Okay, this is just sad. I would like Morrigan to also roll military science land, please.
I never get to roll this one so much. So many times. It's really fun.
You get to thank me later. Have you
Hooray.
failed it yet? No, you haven't. You haven't even failed it once this adventure, so you can't even raise it. Blair is going to point out that at the front of the cabin there are windows, but there's also some kind of space between the woodwork. And as she's pointing this out, Morrigan will realize, oh, gun ports.
Oh. Oh no.
That's no good.
And how many vehicles are outside?
4.
That's anywhere from 4 to 16 people inside shooting from cover.
Very well defended.
Yeah.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
throw a grenade in there? Oh wait, no, that's not very smart.
You have to get it through the window. The cabin does have 2 floors, but the upper story doesn't have any windows. This place is a fortress, Morrigan. It's almost like they built it because they wanted to defend from the horrible Jewish space laser federal government.
They're going to need more than a 2-story wooden cabin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh wait, we could get in from the roof like Santa Claus.
You could
I was thinking that
potentially,
too.
yeah.
You could break in from the roof.
Yeah.
The only question, just the
Climbing
approach
down
is
the
rough
slope.
because there's 30 meters of.
You'd have to go through the forest and then climb down the slope on the other side. Behind it.
Yeah. That's probably the best approach, honestly, just because they wouldn't have visibility that way.
Yeah.
Does it have a chimney?
Yes,
like it.
yes, it definitely has a chimney.
Just drop a grenade in the chimney.
Ah! That is not strictly speaking
Wait, do we
legal,
have the-
but I'm
we have a
not
smoke
sure that you
grenade?
still care.
You have a
Was-
smoke grenade? We should still have a smoke grenade, right?
I
Do
think
we?
you lost them in ABC.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
I'm gonna ask you to roll another survival check to get up top above the cabin.
I'm not very.
And I'm gonna add another hour to your little expedition here because you are, of course, taking the long road round, long path.
I'm so good at surviving, y'all.
So,
And
No, you shouldn't have a minus 20 because you have... Okay, but you failed anyway because 75 is a fail regardless for you.
and I succeed because I can survive. So good.
Blair, okay.
all in organs lead.
Do you crack some branches so that
Is it like-
locals hear you? Apparently not.
Oh my gosh.
We have all the critical failures today.
Even the
Every
NPCs.
single critical failure is being rolled.
Make
But
sure
I
they're
will-
exhausted. Make sure that everyone in there is exhausted.
I will add extra time.
Maybe everybody in there is high.
I mean, I don't think high skinhead culture is more stupid drunk. Lots of beer cans everywhere.
I'll take your word for it.
Maybe they are all drunk.
Yeah, I've heard some interesting
Maybe they're,
accounts
like,
from
cracking open.
ex-skinheads who told about how they were part of the movement and then stopped being part of the movement and got rehabilitated and realized that Nazism was horrible. All right, you are now above the cabin. It's 2 in the afternoon. They have not noticed you because I rolled worse for them than I rolled for you. And I would like you to make another search roll as you are looking over the ceiling of this cabin and what it might contain. Features of the cabin ceiling, if you will.
Oh,
What? You were due for one, weren't you?
that's my second critical success.
Yes, it is. Morrigan?
Searchy, searchy, search.
Also military science land.
No.
Military science land, please.
Oh, hey, I failed it.
Boom!
I think.
Oh my god.
Alright then.
Who am I taking? What am I taking?
What are you taking?
Would confusion even work here? I don't think so.
Yeah, you would
I'll
gain
take,
false information.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. This is definitely the weak spot of the defenses. They have not counted on anyone coming from this way, so you should be good to go.
Okay.
Alex Blair, you will see that even in the roof, there are a couple of these slim openings, if you will.
You gonna alert me of that?
You know, the stuff that Morgan
Yeah, I'm
called
gonna-
gun ports.
Yeah, I'm gonna alert them both, especially Morgan.
I was about to go. I was about to go.
How are you gonna sneak your way down there? This is a climb, so I think it's an athletics basically, or stealth. I would think whatever is lower for you.
Oh no.
I could do athletics.
You
Very
are still
athletic.
under the influence of stimulants, so you actually succeed.
Yay.
They are
Let me
going
see
to
if
wear
I-
off soon, though.
Athletics. I'm very athletic. Trust.
No, but Morgan, you
Oh.
have to roll for your...
Lowest.
Yeah, you have to roll
Oh,
for
my
your stealth. It
lowest.
doesn't matter because it was a success either way.
Okay.
You all succeed, apparently. So you're all gonna get yourselves down on top of the roof of this place.
I'm sorry, didn't somebody just tell us the roof was a bad idea?
There's
Yeah.
gun slots on the roof.
They haven't seen you necessarily, or well, have
Yeah,
they?
no. If there's gun slots
Crit
on
fail.
the
They're
roof,
probably drunk.
no, we're not going to shoot down. No, we're not getting on the fucking roof if there's gun slots pointed up at us. I thought there was an athletics to get down off the hill.
Yes, there is. The athletics is to go down on top of the rooftop, but you don't want to do that?
No,
Okay.
yeah, it would not be there.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
if
enough.
there's slots.
Overruled. Gun slots?
Okay.
Nope, don't want to do that. So what do we want to do?
This is stupid. We're gonna die.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, yeah,
Let's see
I'm
what's
not
going
gonna
on.
engage. No, I'm not gonna engage. I'm gonna go 200 meters back and set up with my rifle and my scope, and I'm just gonna sit there and watch because I'm just not gonna go in there and get shot.
Very well.
I'm gonna take some surveillance to watch.
Okay, so we're going down again to the other area and watching from afar.
Let me see if I can try to see what's going on in the windows.
Call Drake and tell him to set a third cell. We'll go ahead and wait for him here.
Man, at this point, I really wish Mr. Hassel here hadn't alienated the entirety of the local police force.
That would have been helpful.
There's other police forces. You guys could have called them. There's other departments. You even mentioned you had bureaucracy.
Well, that's the issue
roll-
that are
Roll an
gonna
alertness
work.
check for me, please.
No.
Those of you who are spying at the house. What?
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 What happened?
What happened is that Morgan actually sees something.
What the heck?
Yeah. Okay then.
But I failed.
Yeah, nope, that was a critical success. Alright, we're lying here, hidden in the forest, with scope, binoculars, that sort of thing. You're obviously only going to be able to see whoever is moving behind windows. And you are going to see active security habits. There is a lookout, a figure briefly silhouettes behind a window, behind a slit, a curtain. A binocular glint once, and then it's gone. There is no bright interior lights, just dim, warm lamps, blacked out windows, occasional quick flashlight sweeps outside. You can hear a brief muffled shout, a silhouette in a window that doesn't match the guards. You will hear... what else? Yeah, no, that will be it. So there's definitely someone in there who is scared, who is shouting in pain. There's also an attempt to cover these noises with heavy white power music. Dwight is not doing well, you all. Which reminds me, isn't that a little bit helplessness-y? Let's see.
Gwen's asleep in the car anyway.
I mean, for
Well-
Dwight specific?
At this particular point, you don't know. You can just hear noises of someone who is screamed, and then it got cut off really fast. But it's none of you are friends with Dwight.
Nope.
So this is just, an innocent person who is being horribly treated.
I'm adapted. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. I'm gonna have Hassel roll a sanity check for helplessness, please.
Why?
Because it's an
He's
innocent
associated with
person.
Delta Green. If you're dealing with Delta Green, you're certainly not into it.
Still an innocent person out there. You're fine.
He's-
You don't have to read anything. I think the others are all, adapted to helplessness. It's just another day in Delta Green for you guys, in short. Hearing someone... Are they being tortured? It's possible. You don't know.
It cannot be any worse than the Cootermobile. That's my threshold for sanity breaking.
The Cootermobile was special. Absolutely special. Since we're lying out here and just watching this place for a while, I'm gonna ask Jack Morgan to roll for willpower lost again, because you are exhausted and very tired. You haven't had sleep for a while.
What do I
D6,
say?
please.
1d6? Alright.
Yeah. Will you fall asleep?
I'm
Yep.
passing out.
Morgan passes out after having made these observations. So,
Oh,
yeah,
Back to the car.
grab a cigar. Blair, you've been up all night too, haven't you?
I slept.
You
I
slept.
slept on the
Okay,
plane.
good for you. You didn't sleep well. It was but I'll allow you to get away with it for this time. Hassel is also well rested.
Just
so-
swing me over. Hassel could just sling me over the shoulder and just
Yeah,
drag me
you'll
back
notice
down.
that Morgan has just fallen asleep in the moss. It was very soft and inviting moss. It's very comfortable to lie on.
Yes.
Yes.
God.
So yeah, I'm gonna call Drake.
Yeah,
Who? Drake.
Drake.
Yep. Drake. On the phone.
Yeah.
What do you want to ask him about? Agent Drake? Have you even reported
Drake.
to the rest of H-Cell and to Drake that you are
No.
going to California?
And honestly, I would have
I would-
collaborated with Hank and all of them if we had known, but we were moving really fast and we were skipping conversations, and I didn't.
I'm fine
Well,
with you having had coordinations. We can just say you coordinated with them. They're aware that you're in California.
I at least would have wanted Hank to come with us if he wasn't doing anything else, because I know that Harriet was with Tristan, but
That's fair. Hank has been busy just doing the paperwork in ABC because it's a mess. And he doesn't want... Basically, Hank's attitude is, if there is no Delta Green operative involved in taking care of ABC, certain details, certain intelligence of a highly sensitive and classified nature might leak into people who don't have Delta Green clearance, and that would be very bad. So he's probably going to be stuck there for a while. But Harriet can definitely have come down because there's only so many tranquilizers she can fill Tristan with before she's done her job.
okay. I don't know what sort of gear Harriet has, but otherwise, it's me and Blair, Harriet, and 2 fully unconscious operatives. And we are currently against a secure armed compound. Multiple people, secure patrols, gun ports, presumably illegal weapons in there with the hostages that we're after. And the math isn't adding up.
You're gonna hear Drake nod at the other end of the phone line. It's a very loud silence, meaningful silence, if you will. He's considering his options. So the situation is that these skinheads have taken people linked to the ABC situation.
These were the intended recipients of a package that never showed up to them. But yeah, not sure how much
Oh, yeah.
operational
No, I'm
we actually
familiar.
have.
Fiona Lin Way, was it?
Yeah.
All right. Don't rush in, don't go in blind, and don't make it a headline. That's the first rule of thumb. You know, that's not a cabin, it's a prepared position. Do we know if these people, they must have a link to Nuevas Fronteras and Galt, right?
One would presume, and that's what I was about to touch on. Are they trying to get info from them, or are they trying to hold them until they get here? Because if Galt shows up with his task force, then there's literally nothing we can do. The compound's already not breachable with our current forces as it is. If they show up with submachine guns and undying Nazis, that's not going to help our situation anymore. Surprise them with their guard down, it's not going to make much difference.
I hear you. You want to control the exits? Definitely. Box it in. Cover the logging road. Because I agree, if you cross that clearing without a plan, you will die. Can you disable their vehicles? Can you cut their escape routes? Can you use some kind of controlled call-out after you're positioned?
We could potentially do all those things, but my question at this point is the potential information that those two people do or don't have worth losing the remainders of 2 cells in a firefight if it comes to that?
I don't think so.
If you say yes, okay, then there we go. That's the whole conversation.
I don't think I don't think Fiona knows anything really.
Neither do I. And as unfortunate as it is that this happens, we can sit here and observe at most, but covering corners and doing anything more than that, I think is absolutely foolish given the circumstances.
I hear you. So we're gonna let Galt slip away. We're gonna let. Maybe that is the better part of Valor, though, because they have that team and we don't have that team right now.
I would guarantee that they don't have enough of those teams to throw away 2 of them over trying to cover 2 witnesses that don't actually know anything.
Yeah, it's sad.
If these are the kinds of teams that Karotechia has, we should probably preserve our agents and not throw them away over.
Oh, absolutely. The witnesses are collateral. It's sad but true. They don't, as far as I know, they don't know anything.
At best, I can try to take a shot at Galt and run, but aside from getting that one shot at him, if I get him in my optics, that's, I think, the best option. But even then, that's potentially losing the whole team for one hit or miss.
You're in situ. You will have to decide that on your own. I can't advise you on that. Taking out Galt would be, or the man who claims to be Galt, because we really don't know if that is really the same Galt. Could be a grandson. Could be someone else who knows about Galt's reputation impersonating him. We don't know.
Is this something that I could roll a history or an occult check on, considering I have 60 in both of them and of German heritage?
Yeah, but it's very marginal knowledge, so I'll give you minus 40, because...
That's fair. Roll that occult then. Boy.
Oh,
What's the point of bringing a German if you can't speak German when you bring a German along?
You German. Okay, you have heard. I'm gonna say that you might not have heard the name Galt before. Or maybe you have. You have definitely heard the name SS Karotechia before. You might be aware that some circles within the highest ranks of the Nazi Party were deeply interested in the occult, including Heinrich Himmler of the SS and some others. They formed something called the Cthulhu Society to study the occult. And this is all true, by the way. This really happened in real life.
Oh.
And since Himmler was also the head of the SS, he simply designed a unit under the SS to go looking for occult artifacts that could turn the tide of war. Magic, spells, powerful artifacts, anything that could help turn the tide of war. And they were, after a territory was occupied, they would go in and sweep into... there were two sort of prongs, Nazi prongs, if you will. One was just sweeping in and plundering local museums and art galleries and art collections and just plunder them and bring them back to Germany. All sorts of great treasures from the Louvre and from all sorts of museums across Europe. There is a movie about the American unit who was assigned to protect the artwork before the Nazis could destroy them, which is a fun movie. But under that cover, as those units were out there, often Gestapo and others, the Karotechia would also sweep in and pick out from these collections the occult stuff, and then try to use it in the field. And that is about the extent of your knowledge about the Karotechia. So,
Know about the purples.
basically, the Karotechia were the Nazi equivalent to Delta Green.
Yeah, and
my
they
God.
seem to have been operating at least as long. Jesus.
They're presumed they were destroyed by the Special Operations Executive and such missions, the forerunners to the CIA and so on, at the end of the war. When the rest of the
Karotechia was like officially wiped out, and these might just be remnants.
Yep. Or they are impersonators. You don't even know if Karotechia is involved here. What we have now is a man who looks like a Karotechia agent.
Okay.
Who looks like SS Obersturmbannführer Reinhard Galt.
That doesn't make it sound any better when you say it like that. Okay. And yeah, I guess for the time being, we'll observe and report. And if you don't hear anything, it didn't go well.
So that is, what is it? SS Obersturmbannführer means in English...
It's like a field commander.
Senior Assault Unit Leader. So yeah, he would have been very highly ranked within the SS. It's equivalent to a lieutenant colonel, basically.
We hate this guy.
Obviously.
It's the evil Delta Green. So,
Do we want to, evil Delta Green. So, are we gonna stay here until Galt shows up? Is that the plan? Or are we just gonna exfil and go? Too bad about those two kidnapped hostages. It's just collateral.
I
and
wish
we're
I
gonna
could
cut
just
our losses.
blow up the cabin, bro.
Ultimately, that is the
Probably should
question that I'm going to
leave.
present to the rest of the team. If we want to just sit here and observe, I can try and improv a little.
I'm asleep. I can't.
I can try to make a little ghillie shelter to keep us covered at the very least. Stay a couple hundred feet out and just watch with the scope. Your call.
I think that would be smart.
Yeah.
But again, I'm
at
asleep.
least- Yeah, we might as well observe for now, because we still aren't 100% sure that they're connected to Galt.
Very well.
Harriet, what kind of gear do you have on you?
Harriet? Oh, not field gear, she says. I'm a psychiatrist, not a bush.
Harriet, you're not wearing high heels right now in the fucking bush, are you?
She says... I didn't know that I had to get out into a forest. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know this would be out in the forest. Let's be honest.
They're
I don't think
flat
any
shoes,
of us were
though,
prepared.
not high heels. Flat shoes.
I'm literally wearing Oxfords and tall Argyle socks, so I can't say too much, but still.
Very well. I'm gonna say, this is a perfect place for us to pause the story. And then I have a feeling next session will be the last of Dead Letter.
Oh my gosh, thank the Lord!
Whatever happens, as we're waiting for SS Obersturmbannführer Reinhard Galt Or maybe an impersonator of the same, who knows, to arrive and take a shot at him. Which is a worthy, if you can bring him down, which
We
really
shouldn't-
is Galt, then you've actually...
I don't think he's
Maybe-
gonna go down with a regular bullet, though.
I
then
brought
you've
2. It's a double
taken
barrel.
down an enemy of Delta Green that has gotten an extra 50 years lease on life through some kind of
Occult
mess
means
up. Anyway, thank you everybody, and particularly to Dave's RPGs who raided us. Thank you so much. And next week we will see the probably terrifying conclusion of Dead Letter. Apparently, old Nazis don't die. They just hibernate and then they come back again.
vampires.
But can you teach an old Nazi a new trick?